Origin of continent and ocean basins, and on continent different types of mountains like folded mountains, faulted or tectonic mountains, volcanic mountains has been curiosity among geomorphologists. That's why a number of theories have been propounded by geomorphologists regarding the origin of continent ocean basins and especially folded mountains. And it has been concluded that all the folded mountains of the earth have come out of geosynclines. What are the geosynclines? It has been elaborated by KOBER, and KOBER was the first who propounded the concept of geosyncline very scientifically, and later on it was followed by Holmes, Wigner, and plate tectonic. How KOBER propounded the concept of geosyncline? Let us see it. So KOBER's geosyncline orogen theory. Orogen means origin of mountain, and geosyncline means he defined this as shallow and long depressions filled with marine or oceanic water. So Leopold KOBER was a German geologist as well as geomorphologist. He wrote a book. The name of book was Der Bau der Erde. It was in German language. His time span on this planet was from 21st September 1883 to 6 September 1970. It means in the middle of 20th century he propounded this idea. He supposed that there are 3 layers in the structure of the earth. Those 3 layers were Sial, Sima, and Nephe. Now those are called crust, mantle, and core respectively. He supposed that due to cooling process, because in the beginning earth was very hot and in gaseous state, slowly its outer layer cooled down, and due to that cooling the upper part of the crust or sial shrank somewhere, and due to shrinking of that some part was raised while some part depressed, and from the raised part due to rainfall the sediment was brought down, deposited in the low-lying areas or in depression, and this low-lying area was filled by the sediment, with the result, due to the pressure of sediment, both the raised lands moved inside or moved towards each other. Hence folded mountains came out of it, and KOBER called this low-lying area as geosyncline. In geosyncline there was sedimentation. What are geosynclines? He defined that these are shallow, not very deep, and these are elongated, not of circular shape. Elongated means long shape. Depressions means low-lying areas. So the definition given by KOBER of geosyncline was that these are shallow and elongated depressions, and due to sedimentation the bottom of geosynclines underwent subduction. It was subducted due to elastic hypothesis. According to elastic hypothesis, if there is some iron rod and if you put very light thing in its middle part, slowly and slowly the weight will increase, it will undergo subduction. Consequently, both the sides lands will slide down towards it. So this hypothesis was taken into consideration by KOBER's hypothesis, and he called these geosynclines, these low-lying areas, as orogen because mountain will originate from this, and from orogens the orogeny takes place, means mountain comes up. Which mountain? It is folded mountain. So he discussed or he elaborated the origin of folded mountain in the world, and he supposed that there are three parts in the earth, and the upper means Sial shrank due to cooling, and he proposed three stages of the origin of mountain out of geosyncline. First was lithogenesis. Lithogenesis means due to cooling, the Sial or the crust was converted into lithosphere rocks. It means origin of rocks, because when earth is very hot state, gaseous state, it is not called rock. There is no rock. Due to cooling and solidification, that gaseous or elements are converted into rock. This process was called lithogenesis. In lithogenesis, the depressions were developed and highlands were developed. Second stage was orogenesis. In orogenesis, he proposed that the two raised parts were there, and those were called by KOBER in German kratogen. Rainfall occurred due to rainwater. These were being eroded down, and the sediments or alluvium deposited here in the depression or in geosyncline. As its bottom underwent elasticity or it was depressed, both the lands which were called kratogens in German or foreland in English started coming closer, and then third stage started glyptogenesis. Glyptogenesis means when both the forelands started coming closer, due to their pressure, the sediment deposited was raised up, and this raising up of this sediment was called orogeny, means the rising of mountain. At the time of rising or along with rising, exogenic forces, especially climatic forces, start operating, and that's why denudation also started. Thus, KOBER's hypothesis has three main points. Number 1, lithogenesis. Number 2, orogenesis. And number 3, glyptogenesis, means mountain orogeny. Now, let us try to understand his examples in the world. KOBER postulated his theory and wrote it in German language. He used 4 technical terms that you should keep in mind, simultaneously their English version also. And in this world map, you will see how these words used by KOBER have been used. So, the first word of KOBER is kratogen. Kratogen means foreland. As we had discussed in the previous figure, that on both sides of depression or geosyncline, there were highlands which were called kratogen, and these kratogens come closer, causing orogeny. And second point is orogen. In German, it is orogen, but generally it is written as geosyncline. As we have discussed that geosynclines are the narrow and shallow depressions filled with water, and in this there is sedimentation, on the pressure of which the sediment is raised and mountains come up. His third technical term is Schwarzenberg. Schwarzenberg means median mass. Median mass means between the two folded mountains there is one hard land that is not changed and it is also called shield. And his last term, very important, is Randketten. Randketten means marginal ranges which originate first along the border of foreland. For example, let us see this Mediterranean Sea. To the north of this Mediterranean Sea, it is Pyrenees Mountain. Pyrenees Mountain is located between Spain and France, and its direction is from east to west. Here you see it is Atlas folded mountain. It is located in the northwest of Africa continent. In between the two, this is Mediterranean Sea, out of which a mountain may come, and it is a part of the Tethys ocean or Tethys geosyncline. You might be knowing that out of Tethys ocean or Tethys geosyncline, this Himalayan range has emerged, and the westward extension of Himalayas is Hindu Kush, and then here Elburz, Zagros, Pontic, Taurus, and Pyrenees. These are found in a continuous chain. So Mediterranean is supposed to be remnant of this Tethys geosyncline, but at present KOBER postulated that this Mediterranean Sea is a median mass. Median mass means, as we have discussed here, that it is Schwarzenberg in German. So median mass has two sides, one Pyrenees mountain, second Atlas. The second example KOBER gave of median mass is this Anatolia plateau, and to the north of Anatolia plateau it is Pontic, and to its south it is Taurus mountain. These are also folded mountain in extending in northeast direction. The third very important example KOBER gave was here Himalayas mountain and Kunlun Shan. Between Himalayas and Kunlun Shan there is a Tibet plateau. Tibet plateau is also one of the good examples of median mass, and here this Siberian shield was supposed to be foreland in north by KOBER. In south, this peninsular Indian plateau was supposed to be the foreland, and it was part of Gondwana land. KOBER's hypothesis tells that both the forelands, means from north Siberian, from south this Indian peninsula, moved towards this part, and out of this geosyncline Kunlun Shan mountain, and out of this geosyncline this Himalayan mountain emerged. In between the two, the ancient part of the crust, that is called median mass, or Schwarzenberg, that is Tibet plateau, is there. So we can see that the median mass, means Schwarzenberg, is very important feature in geosyncline's hypothesis. So whenever you will write the answer of KOBER's orogeny theory of folded mountain, you will not forget 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, because these are the basics to make clear the KOBER's hypothesis. So after understanding the technical terms used by KOBER, let us try to understand the definition of geosyncline by KOBER and by Sussert. The KOBER's definition, we have kept in mind that the geosynclines are shallow, narrow, elongated water bodies in depressions which undergo sedimentation and subduction. Likewise, a number of experts were there who followed or who adopted the same definition, and Sussert was also a geologist. He described three types of geosynclines. First geosyncline is monogeosyncline, second is polygeosyncline, third is mesogeosyncline. Mono means one. One geosyncline, its example is Appalachian, Aravalli, Vindhyan. These are the examples of monogeosyncline. For example, Appalachian mountain along the east coast of USA emerged out of one geosyncline, monogeosyncline, Appalachian geosyncline, and its name is Appalachian mountain. Likewise, Vindhyan geosyncline was in India, out of which Vindhyachal mountain range came out. It means out of monogeosyncline, single range originate, like Aravalli geosyncline. And polygeosyncline stands for several geosynclines. For example, here Rockies. If you see the map of Rockies, Andes, there are three parallel ranges in north-south direction, and those are in America called caldera in Latin language. For example, Cordillera Oriental, Cordillera Real, Cordillera Occidental. In the same way, Ural is also an example of polygeosyncline. Then last is mesogeosyncline, the best example of which is Himalayas. As in previous map, we have seen that Himalayas has three ranges, Greater, Middle and Shivalik. But to its north, if you see the Pamir Knot, out of that Pamir Knot, a number of ranges like Kionlun San, Tian San, and in West Hindu Kush, in southwest Suleiman, Kirthar, a number of mountain ranges emanate from the Pamir Knot, which all collectively are called mesogeosyncline. Now, after understanding the definition of geosyncline, its types, and the mechanism how KOBER proposed that how out of geosyncline folded mountains emerged, and he gave a number of examples. Now let us criticize this model. Although there are a number of points of criticism, but its positive evaluations are also there. So first criticism is that KOBER postulated 6 phases of folded mountain orogeny, while there are only 4, and these 4 stages of folded mountain start from Cambrian to Holocene, which we have studied in the geological history. That's why his proposition of 6 has no geological and scientific base. Second point is the contraction of crust or seal. This force cannot move foreland. It means contraction was there, but due to contraction, the foreland or the land part, continental part, cannot move to such a distance that a folded mountain of about 8 km height may come out of it. And the next point of criticism is that according to plate tectonics, only one part moves. For example, in India, you keep the map of Himalayas in your mind, you will see that according to the latest theory of plate tectonic and its scientific evidences like geomagnetism, only Himalayas originated due to northward movement of Indian plate, while KOBER considered that it was Siberian or Eurasian plate which moved south at the same rate, called foreland. But plate tectonic explains that only due to fast movement of Indian plate in north direction, the folded mountain ranges of Himalayas emerged. and its evidences has also been given by geologists like Professor Wadia that the force was from south because the nape of Himalayas have developed along the southern slope, and when broken they are found in the southern part of the rivers along the southern slope of greater and middle Himalayas, for example in Kashmir, in Jammu and Kashmir region. Next point is, it does not throw light on mountains from north to south. As in previous figure we have seen that there are a number of mountains like Pyrenees, Atlas, Pontic, Taurus, Kunlun, Himalayas. Direction of these mountains is from west to east, while there are a number of folded mountains extending from north to south, for example Rockies, Andes, Great Dividing Range. The origin of these mountains out of geosynclines had not been given or discussed by KOBER. That's why this theory is subject to criticism. So, after understanding these 4 points of criticism, now let us come for its evaluation. Sometimes its criticism is expected to right, while sometimes its evaluation, while sometimes its critical evaluation. If it is not asked, then only you should evaluate it in the present context, because this theory was propounded in past, but at present there are a number of theories like plate tectonic which have latest scientific and geological evidences. That's why you should compare KOBER's theory with these modern views. So, in evaluation, first point is KOBER postulated the concept of geosyncline for the first time. Thus, the credit of geosyncline goes to KOBER. And this concept of geosyncline was later on followed by other geoscientists related with the origin of folded mountain. Thus, it provided scientific basis to even plate tectonic theory. The second very important evaluation point is, today Gulf of Mexico and Bay of Bengal are the two large geosynclines, and among these two, the Bay of Bengal is the largest geosyncline which is undergoing subduction due to sedimentation brought down by river Brahmaputra and their tributaries. And this is the reason that Bay of Bengal geosyncline is undergoing subduction. Evidences are which are that at the depth of 150 meters in Bangladesh and in West Bengal, the erect Sundari trees are found, which will be discussed in detail while studying the geophysics of India or Indian plate tectonics. But the second example is the Gulf or Mexico Gulf. Here there may be doubt that this Gulf stands for two meanings. Number one, Gulf countries means the countries bordering Persian Gulf. But here Gulf of Mexico you might be seeing on the map. It is to the southeast of North America, which is undergoing subduction. It is the second largest example of geosyncline. Why subduction? Due to sedimentation. Why sedimentation? Due to deposition by Mississippi, Missouri and tributaries. So, it is expected that out of these two geosynclines, means the Bay of Bengal geosyncline and Gulf of Mexico geosyncline, a folded mountain will come. So, this nature teaches a lesson to us that if you are in maximum depression or in the position of geosyncline, don't be hopeless, because time will come, forces will help you, and you will rise to a very high peak. So time always changes. And last evaluation is according to tectonics, folded mountains will come out of this. Tectonic theory also tells that all the folded mountains of world have come out of these geosynclines, and in tectonics the folded mountains extending from east to west direction as discussed by KOBER, as well as the mountains from north to south as discussed by plate tectonics. All the mountains found on the earth, whether in northeast direction like Rockies Andes, Great Dividing Range, or the east-west extending folded mountains have come out of geosynclines. So this geosyncline theory proposed by KOBER is very important. That's why you will understand some points like he supposed 3 layers in the earth. Second point, he discussed 3 stages of mountain orogeny. And next point is that he used 4 technical words. So on the basis of this, the geosynclines have been here classified in different types. Then he discussed the origin of folded mountain in 6 phases, which is the criticism. But more than criticism are his positive evaluations. It means KOBER is one of the forefathers of the geosyncline orogen theory.